Here is my wrinkled out of the wash long dress that needs a repair. There you can see the larger hole. I wore this dress all through the winter. It's a great little dress. So at first I thought, well, then I guess it was just going to be retired to loungewear. But then I thought, well, this is fixable. There is just sort of the large hole, and then this kind of little sort of train down to the hem of little larger, smaller kind of rips and pulls from, yes, getting caught in the shopping cart. I also think while I'm working on this, I may just actually hem it a little bit, just turn it up an inch, just to save me from that trouble again. Alright, these are the different types of lace appliques that I bought. I had some of them in my wish list, and then I kind of was looking more in the embroidery type section. You know, my light never quite cooperates, but I think you can see this black on black here. This is the larger applique piece that I want to use on that long skirt. So this will be a little bit more experimentation. I'm not sure if I want to use this larger pieces of lace here, which maybe can go, and this is only one piece and I'm hiding that hole, but I kind of feel like if I use this larger piece that I maybe should use both, where the second piece would just be a decorative kind of piece all the way up. So these are not iron-on appliques. I did start looking thinking, oh, could I just have a fun patch here? I looked to see what kind of patches I had, and I had kind of fun funky patches, which would only have worked for just this one spot, not this little trail of little rips, which maybe I guess you can't see, but I know that they're there, and if you don't repair them, eventually they will get worse for the wear. So I started looking at different iron-on embroiders, and then that progressed to sort of all black stitch-ons. So I have to test these. I think, well, first I'll stitch where I need to stitch closed, and then I will try a based on these where I can make changes and adjustments. This one I'll probably put in the dress form just to see how it drapes and flows, and then I can see if I need more, this second piece maybe, if I want to cut a piece to continue up and continue down and around or not, because I guess they're mirrored, I think, so I can play with them going in different kind of little spiral directions. It's kind of wrinkled. I'll probably press down at the bottom where I work later, and yet even though I washed it, there's still cat hair all over. I really love this dress. I wore this all winter in the pandemic. And yes, it got caught in the shopping cart at the bottom. As I said, I don't have an embroidery hoop. That would probably be useful for repairing something like this. So I thought, what do? Do I cut everything off of it? Do I just do a crappy kind of sew job and then use it as a lounge kind of wear? But I really wanted to continue to use it, see if I couldn't make my clothing last. This also was maybe $8 or $9 at Goodwill or Salvation Army several years ago at least. So ironically, it has cost more for the lace to repair both these dresses than the actual cost of the dresses themselves. Eek, I'm on the battery. There we go. Is the rose lace. I had this in my list for a while. I thought that I was going to eventually get it when I wanted to do some kind of really fancy hem or trim on some kind of proper gown, but this is what I want to use. It's ironic, there's a lot of this, and I do like that they are kind of somewhat complementary, I suppose. This can be cut smaller if need be, and then I like how this can be as small as one little link, or 2, 3, however many necessary. So this is what I want to use. This is the inside. I want it to be on the outside of this sort of lace fix-up. Can you see that kind of black on black? I thought about getting this in some color, maybe in some purple if it was meant to go on something long sleeve, but then I thought I would be kind of seasonably kind of trapping the dress, so I went with the all black, and I thought that tone on tone does create a little bit of texture. This is the inside out of this dress. This was when I sewed it with black thread. The black on black matched until I got it out in the daylight, and it was like, why is there this weird long streak down the center of my dress? That should be just black black thread. So I want to disguise that in some way. So you can vaguely see this kind of line here that I don't like, where black on black is not always accurate. And now, usually for my dress form, I do have to pad out for myself. And you can kind of see this example of alteration that I've had to do. This had a nice kind of bust gather at this empire line that I really love, but it's just a little too big for me, so I had to make this nice sort of stitch up on the center closed. So I had to close this up, and I've been wearing this. I really like this dress, but it bothers me that you can see that line. So here's my lace, this cute little, it is a line of lace, which I had thought that I would do something really wonderful and dramatic with it, and now right now I'm just looking at it for repairs. I am half tempted to where this sort of repair was done under the line and come up, going from this sort of side seam line around that empire line and back to the center. I really like that look, but because this already has this nice kind of gather on the bust line, I kind of don't want to lose that. So I think, and then I feel it's very nice and attractive if you did have just one kind of coming up around one side of this, maybe going all the way up the top. Ooh, see how fancy that looks? But at the same instance, then I feel like, does the other side feel bare? Does that symmetrically match or not? Let me get my pins. There you go. Can you hear me in my noisy basement? Yes, very tempted to pin this over here and have it come up like so. Ooh, I kind of even like it when it's off like that. But I feel like then you're losing that kind of gather, or how will I work around that kind of bust line? I'm not so sure. And then I feel like, does that look right being just one side? Or I think I paid $10 total for this lace. This might have been $6, and the other pieces were $4, I think. So it's very pretty lace. If you can see, it's probably not super high quality, but I also, do I want to not waste everything, but do I want to use so much on this dress? I don't think so. So here is just 2 pieces here that I think could just work on that center. So, like that. I also kind of can't tell which way, necessarily, if it matters which direction. Maybe that is this is the good side. Yeah, I think. But let's just see a little pin, and I think I will do a little base of this so I can play in adjusting it. See, this little stem coming down into that little gather kind of hides that a little bit. And that stem can hide. As I said, I'm not an embroidery person, so this is just a new thing for me that I feel like, now that looks really nice. Oh, that stupid noise was going off this entire time. I hope you could have heard me. Oh, damn it. Working in the basement has such pitfalls, I know. The lighting, the noise. I think that looks alright. That looks quite nice. You can see, I guess, that tone-on-tone black differentiation, but it looks like it's meant to be there, as opposed to that unsightly line that I had. So, I'm going to base this in place, I think, and then I'm going to try it on and see how it looks on, and then make my final pins and stitches. And I really, really love how I've just extended the life of this dress. Whew, yay. I'm really, really pleased with this. It's difficult to see. I would like to get pictures of this maybe out in the sunlight if I can. But I did want to try and show some of this lace border design. This one is actually covering where the lovely hole was and the run down to the bottom, and I did give this a quick hem with just some tape hem bond just to turn it up an inch so maybe I won't get caught in a shopping cart again. And this one, there was one spot out here on the side that I almost didn't cover the way it was positioned with this lace, but I wanted it to be a sort of climbing applique and have one a little bit higher than the other, and I'm really, really pleased with this. I want to do this floral black lace on everything now that I own. That might start to get a little out of hand at some point, but I love this tone-on-tone design. It's enough notice, enough distinction, but it's also just subtle enough that it doesn't overwhelm what is really just a straightforward dress. I wore this dress a couple times already, and I had a scarf around my neck, and it was weather, it didn't matter, but I kind of felt a little self-conscious about it, that it was an alteration, that was, you know, a mistake, that it was something that was noticeable that you could see, so I wanted to correct it. So ironically, I've spent more on the lace than I actually did on the dress, but instead of something that I could have just cut and re-sewn, then you probably would have seen even more little stitches, little holes, little things that would have been a problem. So I just decided to try and cover it up with something nice, and I'm really, really pleased with this. It really makes a really nice statement. This kind of style of dress, I feel, maybe suits that kind of floral accent. So, and I'm glad I didn't go all the way around kind of on one side, because you just have this kind of gathered kind of line and then this nice central statement. So, I have to often sew up a little bit more in the center, but this does have at least a nice design. So I think this is really cute. I like that it is black on black. There is no giant kind of pop of color, you know, but I love that it is tone on tone, sort of just enough of a design. So I'm really excited about this. I'm excited to wear this dress now with this kind of embellishment. You know, if my hair's in front of it, it's no big deal. I don't feel the need to hide the dress like I was previously. So I'm really excited about this. I really like this a lot. I feel this feels like a very weird camera angle. I'm sorry.